All right. Thanks, Robin. Every fucking week with this guy. So it is Friday, February 26th. This episode of Taking All Bets is brought to you by Headliner app. They are really helpful in getting all the audiograms for the show, and we're really happy to have them as a sponsor.
We're not really a sponsor, just sounded professional.
Okay, Will. Trying to do an ad read. You know, it doesn't matter that they're not really a sponsor, you know, whatever. How's it going, Kurt?
You know, it's pretty good. It's just about March now. March Madness right around the corner. Warm weather coming up.
Are you a big March Madness guy?
I love it.
Yeah? You do a
Yeah.
bracket every year?
Oh, every year.
I can never really get into it.
I mean, it never goes well for me, but I participate every year.
Like, I can never really get into stuff that's like not professional.
Yeah,
You know what I
usually I'm the same way. Like, I don't think I watch a college basketball or football game all year, but I watch every single March Madness game.
That's interesting. So what'd you
Yeah.
get up to this week? Anything special? Anything crazy?
Not a whole lot. Just watching the usual hockey, basketball, and nothing too crazy.
You know, I this week I really got into tsunamis. Like, I was in bed last night at like 1 a.m. and I was just like watching videos on tsunamis. Don't ask me why. I just was.
Yeah.
It started with
Tsunamis.
wave pools. It started with wave pools is how I got onto it. Cause like you think about it, like public pools are already like a disgusting place to be, like just full of disease
The
and
worst.
infection. And then like wave pools, you get like 1,000 people in the same pool and they're all like banging into each other. And you're like, how is that fun? But the funniest thing was like one malfunctioned and it just sent like this violent wave at people. And there's like elderly women getting like tossed 20 feet in the air. And I was like, serves you right. I mean, you're an idiot.
You ever been to the wave pool at Canada's Wonderland?
No, I've never been to Canada's Wonderland. I've never been an amusement park guy. Ever.
Seriously?
Never. Even
Not
as
one.
a kid. Even as a well, I've been to amusement parks, but even as a kid, I was like, yeah, it's cool. It's whatever.
So I guess my follow-up isn't really necessary, but are you a big roller coaster guy?
I mean, I will go on a roller coaster. I will go on that's the first place I'll go when I'm at an amusement park. But all the other rides, I'm like, whatever. It's just
Like the Leviathan?
I don't even know what that is. I have no idea what the Leviathan is.
Just a huge roller coaster at Canada's Wonderland.
Oh, okay.
It's iconic.
I'll have to look that up. Yeah, no clue. So let's get into it. So Tiger Woods had a car accident this week. He's fine. He had a couple broken legs or one broken leg or whatnot, but it's pretty violent crash. Did you see the pictures of it?
Unfortunately, I did. Honestly, when I first saw it, I don't know if you felt the same way, but you remember when the Kobe incident happened?
Yeah, you were kind of like, oh fuck. And ever since ever sin't that happened, now anytime.
Yeah. I don't know if it was because of that's what immediately like why I thought that way. But because they didn't know, right? They didn't really release a lot of information. They just said it's really serious. And you were like, oh no. Like not now, not him.
Not again.
Yeah.
And fairly or unfairly, anytime something happens to Tiger Woods or Tiger Woods does anything, it's not just the incident in which happened. It's like this whole story of Tiger Woods. Like that's what every news channel was talking about, just like his past and whatever. Did you ever watch the Tiger Woods documentary?
No, I haven't had a chance, but I heard it was really good.
So I watched it and it was like, you learn a lot about like Tiger Woods' childhood, and you learn more about like the scandals and whatever. And like, I mean, the first thing is like Earl Woods is just like an asshole. Like his dad is such a dick.
I was going to ask you how you like, what was your opinion on him? Because I heard a lot of negative feedback about him.
Yeah, I mean, like like he is everything that is wrong with parents today in sports, where like they have a kid and they want him to get into sports and they think he's going to be like this messiah and that's the only sport he can play and they coach him up into that. Like that was the definition of Earl Woods. Was like when Tiger was like 6 7 years old, he mentioned to people, he was like, I kind of want to play like other sports. And a teacher said this to Earl Woods, and Earl was like, no, he plays golf. He only plays golf.
I mean, like it's hard to sit here and criticize him because do you think if you asked Tiger now, what do you think he would say? No,
I mean,
yeah, I should have played other sports.
no, but like, you know, I'm like Tiger Woods obviously loves his dad or loved like, but and I'm sure he's grateful for everything that he did, but like Earl, like Tiger Woods did not have a childhood. He was at the golf course all the time. Like they interview girlfriends and friends, and they're like, anytime you were around him, like he just wanted to be a kid, kind of like
Yeah,
Michael Jackson. Like Michael
yeah,
Jackson never
but
had a childhood,
and there's countless examples of that throughout sports too, right? You hear
right?
the stories about half these tremendous athletes, and that's what it took for them to become the greatest golfer or the greatest tennis player, etc.
But then if you listen to old time athletes, like even Michael Jordan, they'll tell you, no, let your kid play whatever they want. And if they want to play basketball and they want to play football and they want to play hot, let them. Like don't shield your kid just to one singular sport. It's not fair to them. I don't know. I like
I
I
as
don't
much as
agree
I
with it.
like I agree and like I would want my kid to do the same, but I just said it's hard to criticize when you look at his achievements, you look what he became. Earl can say, yeah, well, like look at my impact, right?
Right,
But
but I
no,
think that's just like
I
I think that's just like a narcissistic way to like
no, I
way to think
agree.
if you're Earl Woods is like and he was a narcissist. Like he just like he thought Tiger Woods' success was all because of him. No, it's not.
No,
Were
he's
you
just
swinging the
incredibly
club?
talented.
Like were you swinging the club all that time? No, you weren't. Like there's a reason you weren't on the tour there, Earl.
Yeah, it's the
So I
reason it
mean,
was him.
yeah, so I mean, I whatever. Like Earl just sucks, but like, they also get into like the scandals and you know the multiple women and it was basically like how Tiger Woods was like this idol. And I don't think kids today understand how big Tiger Woods was. Like
You could
he
not
was
watch when he was at his best. You couldn't watch a tournament. It would the camera for out of those 3 hours, 2.5 of it would be spent on Tiger Woods.
like he was on the Michael Jordan level of famous or the Michael Jackson level of famous or the Mike Tyson level of famous or pick any athlete, Muhammad Ali, the Beatles, Elvis Presley. Like he was so popular. Like the only guy that would even come close today would be like The Rock. He'd be like the only guy that would come close to how famous Tiger Woods was. Like he was the first billionaire athlete. He was a billionaire before Michael Jordan was.
I actually didn't know that.
Like I think like 2009, he became a billionaire. Michael Jordan didn't become a billionaire until he bought the Charlotte Hornets or Bobcats, whatever they were at the
You
time.
might be able to say LeBron is pretty in that phase in that same category now. Just that popularity.
Maybe, but like it's not
Doesn't
like
feel the
he
same.
he might be, but like it's just Tiger Woods was on every cereal box. He was on, every commercial. He had the biggest endorsement deals going. And he played golf of
The
all sports.
the interesting thing is too, if I'm not mistaken, there's like all three or four of those his incidents have all become like or occurred when he's behind the wheel. There was the
Well,
first
yeah,
there was a first injury, there was the DUI, now this, the incident with his wife. Just not like I don't know if that's
it is hard to
coincidence or
drive when
just
you got somebody chasing with a golf club, though. That's for sure. Like they talk about that. They talk about, like all the whores he was with. There's no better way to call them. Like they were. Um, Like they were hookers. That's all they were. They are
Do you
like they are footnotes in this life
do you think
compared
we'll
to
ever
Tiger
see him?
Woods.
Do you think we'll ever see him on the golf course again though? Or too early? Too early for that.
I mean, yeah, you will. You'll see him on the tour. Like he had back surgery again, not that long ago. And like people don't understand that. Like they think like, oh, when he got caught cheating on his wife, like that's when his career went down. No, no, no. He got caught, came back, won 4 tournaments in the year faster than he ever had before. So he was on a good level, and then he hurt his back. He broke his leg and still won the U.S. Open in 2008. Like I mean, this guy was on another level. So I think if he can do that sort of stuff and then come back from fusion back surgery and win the Masters, there's nothing this guy can't do. He'll be back.
And I
He'll
hope
be
like
back, of course.
I hope that's the case too, because everyone knows golf is just better with Tiger there.
Yeah, and I don't think since Tiger, like the period in which Tiger left golf and then came back, there's nobody on the tour right now that can take his place. Rory McIlroy did for a bit, Brooks Koepka, guys like that. But those are and Jordan Spieth, but like those are short stints.
Dustin
There's never
Johnson.
Dustin Johnson. There hasn't been a guy since then that has like sustained success for years. And like Tiger Woods was the best player in the world, hands down, for like 12 years. No question. So
No, yeah.
actually I heard a great story about Tiger Woods. It was at the 2000 US Open where he dominated the field, like won, like beat records, crushed everybody by like 10 or 12 shots. It was crazy. Maybe more. So he can't sleep. I think it was on. It might have either been. It was either between the first and second round or the third and fourth round. He can't sleep. So he gets up in the middle of the night, takes a couple balls out of his bag, 3 balls out of his bag, and he just starts practicing in the hotel room. Well, I think Steve Williams was his caddy. He goes and picks up the bag the next morning and doesn't realize that the balls aren't in there. So he's only got 3 balls in the bag. You're only allowed 6. You're only allowed 6 balls during a round on the PGA. So he goes, they go in, and again, he's dominating the field. I think he's leaving the 16th green, maybe the 17th green, and he tosses a ball to a fan, like a little kid. And Steve Williams goes to get another ball out of the bag, and he realizes there's only 2 in there now. So now they're on the 18th tee. Tiger Woods takes a driver and he slices it, or hooks it, I guess, right into the water, like right into the ocean. And now Steve Williams is really sweating it. Because if you run out of balls, you're disqualified. And he's crushing the field. So Steve Williams is like, what if we like hit iron down the fairway? Tiger Woods goes, fuck you, give me the ball. And he's like, oh shit. Takes the driver out, hits it right down the middle of the fairway. Finishes the round, wins the tournament. And Steve Williams like, that was our last ball. Like,
That's incredible.
that's so crazy. Like the luck.
That's just Tiger Woods for you, right?
But like, could you imagine if he had plunked it in the water again and Steve Williams had to be like, we're done, bud. We're out. Yeah. So, praying for Tiger. Hopefully he gets better. Want to see him back out on the course soon. Tiger's seen his share of media squabbles, I guess you would say, being in the media a lot. There was another guy that was in the media this week. Artemi Panarin of the New York Rangers had no better way to say it, a complete hit piece put out on him by the Russian government.
There was not a chance that this wasn't a political incident.
Russia's so insane.
It's wild.
Like, that's an insane country.
It's
And,
hard
like,
to
to be, like-
fathom sometimes.
To be like proud of being like, I am from Russia. You're like, you're fucked. Like, your country's fucked, man. So if you don't know, Artemi Panarin, what was it, last year? He went on social media and he was talking about basically like how there's inequities in like the economy over in Russia. Like, it just seems like the rich get ahead, and the poor fall behind. And that's kind of the way it is. Like either you're really, really rich, and I don't mean like here, like I mean you either have millions and millions and millions and billions of dollars, or you literally live on the street. Like that is the difference. It's crazy. So he said like, I don't like the economic policies, by the Russian government. And then if you don't know, Vladimir Putin's biggest political rival, who calls for, a democracy and whatnot, he was poisoned, he says, by the Russian government. Everyone else also assumes it was the Russian government. Tried to poison him, the KGB. He went to Germany. He got help there, doctors. He got better. They cured him. And then he goes back to Russia and is immediately upon his arrival, he's arrested by the police, put in jail. So then Artemi comes out and he makes an Instagram post saying free. I don't even know his name.
I think is it like Alexei Nazarov?
Yep, something like that.
Yeah,
something like that. So he says free this man, and then this article comes out saying that Artemi, when he was 18, I think, playing in the KHL, they were in Latvia. They were at a bar after a game that his team had lost. He was upset. And the story goes that he drilled a young lady, put her to the ground, whatever, kept hitting her. And then the only way to make the story go away was the team paid like 40,000 euros to the police, bribed them, and there was no arrest, there was no charges. It's a lot.
And sorry, actually, Nazarov, that was the first name that came out because he was the coach that accused him of all this. He was the head coach that accused him of all this, not the political leader.
He was the head coach of the KHL team that Panarin was playing for at the time. And it's all lies. It came out, that there was no charges filed, that, nobody could back the story up, that it was the Russian government. And the newspaper, I believe, where it was published, this story, I think is owned by, or is pro, like political establishment in Russia. They're fans of Putin.
They've also, they interviewed countless members of those teams, his teammates, and they said none of them have confirmed that. They all denied it, said that was not true, not even close to true.
Yeah, so it's just like another thing that the Russian government has done to try to, kill somebody's reputation, kill their career. It sucks, but it's not true. Panarin had to take time off because he has family that still lives in Russia. And so now he's worried about them. The Russian government is not opposed to going after people's families, which is insane.
That's just hard to fathom, though. Just think. I can't even imagine that. Think about the political statements that people make on the daily in North America. Mm-hmm. Just even especially over the past year, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine doing that in Russia and that your family dies because you did that?
I mean, Vladimir Putin, yeah, he was in the KGB. He's a tough guy. He's really cool. Everyone thinks he's awesome. Go fuck yourself, Vladimir Putin. Now you're stepping into our world. Okay, you're stepping into the sports world, and there's a lot of people in this world that will fuck you up.
He's
Do
probably
not step into this world.
And you got to think, Artemi Panarin right now could be. You could say he's the best Russian player in the NHL.
I think he is.
It's maybe Kucherov though. Maybe Kucherov.
There's a list. Ovechkin, Kucherov.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's pretty close, but there's definitely a debate to be made.
Definitely. So it definitely sucks. Obviously, Panarin, back home, I'm assuming in Russia, he has a lot of, his what he says goes a long way. So, again, it's not true. He is not guilty. Russia's just fucked, and Vladimir Putin's a pussy. That's all it is. And he's scared that he's going to be overthrown. That's all it is. Okay. It just makes me mad. We'll move on, I guess.
Oh, and
go ahead.
I was to say, if we don't hear another episode of this podcast, you know why.
Yeah, Vladimir Putin, come at me. Come at me, bro. I ain't scared of you. Step into the room. Give me 5 minutes with you. Either I'm gonna die. I'll probably die. He'd probably kill me.
You'll probably die. But anyways,
he's got KGB training, but whatever. I ain't afraid of you. So there was some big accomplishments in the NHL that we didn't. One of which we didn't even talk about last week, but should have. Connor McDavid scored his 500th point in the NHL. Tied for 8th fastest to do so, 369 games. Actually tied with Sidney Crosby for the same amount of games, same amount of points. And you had mentioned, I think maybe in the first episode, you said that every year his points per game has increased. McDavid?
Yeah, every year, or I think that is true as well. And also, if you look it up, so from the amount of games it took him to go from 0 to 100 points, I'm just going to give, I think roughly it was like, I don't know, maybe 87 games or something. But then from like 100 to 200, it might have been like 83. Then from 200 to 300, it was like 77, etc. And then the last 100 was like 56 games or 60 games, something crazy. Just he keeps getting better. I don't know how, but he keeps getting better.
Like, he has done, for every 100 points he scores, he did it faster than the previous 100 points. Like, it's insane. It's insane. The only other stat that I can think of that's like that which is absolutely bonkers. Let me tell you this. Wayne Gretzky, okay, he was the fastest to ever score 1,000 points. Okay. He was also faster at going from 1,000 points to 2,000 points. He was faster than anybody had ever went from 0 to 1,000. Isn't that crazy? Like,
that's insane. You know what? He's the guy when you think of, though, it's kind of the McDavid factor now. I was about to get onto this, but when I watch, I've never seen in my life anyone who is so much better than everyone else in the NHL like Connor McDavid is right now. Like, my entire life, you can say Crosby was the best, for a long time, but he was never this far ahead of everyone. And that's like going back. So? That's what Gretzky was. Like, Gretzky was just so much better than everyone else.
But do you think it's just like the points is what we look at? Like, do you think it's just the points that is head and shoulders above everyone else?
You could take every point away. Just watch the guy on the ice. You've never seen anyone in the history of the NHL be able to skate and stick handle like that.
So you're saying he's the best, like, head and shoulders above everyone else since Gretzky?
Or no. Ever? Like, no, in the comparison
that you've seen.
Like, no. In my comparison, I'm saying he's the best player in the NHL right now, right?
Yeah.
He is so much better than the second best player in the NHL right now. Like Gretzky was. Gretzky was so much better than the next guy. And I think Connor McDavid is the same way. He's just so much better than everyone else.
I would argue against that.
I have a feeling I know who you're going to say too.
Well, there's a few guys like Nate McKinnon.
Yes, I know you. There's a few guys you could throw into this conversation. Like, I'm saying, but he's so much better.
But I think when we say that, it's just from like a points perspective. Like, he he gets all these points, but like he's not a good defensive player. He's an offensive juggernaut. Like, when he has the puck, look out. But like, I think there's other aspects that he's missing in his game.
At the same point, do you want Connor McDavid laying out to block a shot?
No, I'm not saying that. But like, look at like Austin Matthews. Like, he's the best goal scorer in the world, and he has the most takeaways in the league. Like, I mean, you don't have to block shots.
Yeah, I don't disregard that. I just, if you look at like I said before, take the points away and just simply watch how he skates, how he stick handles, and just watch him skate around the ice. It's just incredible. And the comparison from always on the next fastest guy on the ice or the next best stick handler just looks nothing like him.
He's definitely he's the best skater. He's the fastest skater. I would not say he's the most skilled player in the league, though. I think there's other guys that are more
skilled.
No.
I
mean, I look at guys statement. Like I think Austin Matthews is more skilled hockey player than Connor McDavid. Like, his hands are the guy gets stick handle in a phone booth.
I mean, yeah, but I would say I would still say Connor McDavid is probably the best stick handler still.
I would
Or
say
him. You can put Patrick Kane in that debate too. But
Patrick Kane. I would say that
the speed, like the ability to do that, he stick handles as well as anyone,
yeah,
but at such a higher speed than everyone.
it's the
And
speed
that's the
that kills.
difference. Yeah, that's the difference. That's the most important thing. And he's so much better that the way he can cut, the way he accelerates 0 to 100. We've never seen anyone do that.
No, you're right. Like it is the speed in which I don't think he'll age well. Like I think what his speed leaves him. What? Okay, when I say like, okay, well, like let's say like a skilled player, Connor McDavid's biggest uh attribute is his speed.
Yeah. No, I feel like I know. Yeah, I know where you're
And
getting with
so
this.
when his speed leaves him, the question will be, will he be able to find a way to maybe not, keep going at the rate he's going, but not drop off suddenly? I think there's other
Yeah.
guys that play the game differently, like,
Well,
an Austin Matthews that's more physical, or a Nate McKinnon
well,
now that's more physical.
look at Alex Ovechkin. This guy,
Yeah,
obviously, when he was young, he could take the puck. You watched him pick it up at the blue line, at his blue line. He could come and beat guys with his speed and then throw his weight around. Now he's learned how to adjust as he's now 35 years old, right? We've
right.
seen him come off of how many straight Maurice Rocket
Yep.
Richard trophies, right? You got to, as you're older, you have to become a smarter hockey player too.
Well, here's an example: Steven Stamkos, right? When he came into the league, he had a hell of a shot, but he was also very, very, very fast.
Mm-hmm.
Broke his leg. His speed's not the same. He's not the same player. He's
That's
still a
a
very
good
good player.
comparison.
But like the other guy we're going to talk about that has a huge milestone this week was Sidney Crosby hit 1,000 games. I think Sidney Crosby's game has changed over time. When he came into the league, he was slicing and dicing and moving and sliding. Like he was
Yeah, he's the same sort
everywhere.
of way.
But
That's
the thing was like Gretzky. The thing that's the same about Crosby and Gretzky is that their best attribute is not that they have the best shot, because they don't. It's not that they're the fastest, because they don't. They're the smartest players.
I like that you said that because I was just about to say that it's that hockey IQ. You like it doesn't matter. You can't teach that,
Like
and that's why
Gretzky, there's a reason they call it Gretzky's office. Nobody had ever done that before. Like to the extent that he did it. He sees the game differently, just like Sidney Crosby sees the game differently. He finds those holes where he can just plug himself into and then contribute. So, now we're on Sidney Crosby. Where do you put Sidney Crosby? Like, what's your top five? Like, give me your top five all time.
See, this is tough. I've been watching actually. A lot of people have had this discussion just because he reached that milestone, right?
Mm.
And I think it's obviously for most people, Gretzky or Lemieux is the top three, right?
Yeah.
And then I probably would go Mr. Hockey. And then a guy that I think a lot of people don't have, like, I'm going to get mixed reactions from it, but Nick Lidstrom might be number 5 on my list. And
Yeah.
then I think Crosby will finish in that next 6-7 area.
You think he'll finish his career there?
I guess, yeah. I'm kind of like, are you talking right now, or do you want me to? Because I think we can both, like, I can safely assume.
We'll do right now.
I don't know. Maybe, I guess if he were to get injured tomorrow, then he'd still be in my top 10, but I think he'll finish at probably that 6. I think right now there's 2 guys that'll be in that top 10.
I think
in the NHL.
Is Ovechkin your other?
Yeah, him and Crosby. No, him and Crosby. That's too early for McDavid.
Yeah.
I think he can be there, but I can't say that. You also have to win, right?
Yeah. So I would say Gretzky's number 1. And I think anybody who argues that, you're wrong. And then I would say then Lemieux. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could flip flop or and Lemieux. It doesn't really matter. And then, for me, it comes down to either Nick Lidstrom or Howe or Crosby. I think I think it's Crosby. I think it's Crosby 4, Lidstrom 5.
Crosby 4. Wow.
Yeah, I think like he carried the league for 10 years plus. Um, Nick Lidstrom never did that. Nick Lidstrom was a very good player. He had like 7 Norrises. Had cups and whatnot. But he was on some pretty good teams. Like for a long time, he wasn't the best player on the team. Steve Yzerman was the best player on the team, or Brendan Shanahan. Nick
You
Lidstrom
think that
wasn't.
I don't know about Brandon Shan. Yeah, I can see the Eiserman debate, but I still think I don't even know if I would say I think Lidstrom was most of the time still the most valuable.
Probably, I mean, yeah, defensemen a lot of times are more valuable, but I
And
I think
I think in that debate though, you're saying he didn't carry the league. I don't know if a
that's a
defenseman who
marketing
played.
thing. To be
Yeah, and
fair,
that's also a defenseman who played like him. I don't know if you can lead like you know what I mean?
no,
When was
like
the
kind of
last time
like
you
he's kind
said
of like a Victor Hedman.
yeah, when was the last time you said the best defenseman in the league is the face of the league?
Mm, probably or that's probably
Yeah,
true.
that's what I mean, right?
That's probably a true statement. Um,
I don't know. There's a good debate for those three guys. I
yeah,
went back and forth on it, and I definitely I don't know if I'd say that's my list is definite, but
no,
that's yeah.
no, it will ever change. But yeah, I would put Crosby at 4. He's got 3 cups. He has over 1,000 points, over 1,000 games. He was the best player in the league. Um, and I think he was really the type where people knew he was the best player, but that didn't mean he was always going to have the most points.
The
And I think
fact too
that's the
that
thing
he
that will define him.
yeah, the fact too that he missed in the prime of his career, he almost missed like what 2 seasons with the
Yeah,
concussions and ankle injuries,
yeah,
and then he came back just as good as when he left.
exactly. Like he missed a
Right?
lot of time, and to be fair, like Lemieux missed a lot of time. If Lemieux hadn't gotten sick and whatnot,
It's almost
he would be near Gretzky in points. So
he's almost had like a 3-part career though. He started off, he was obviously came into the league, was almost won rookie of the year, 100 plus points, went on to win a cup shortly, MVPs, Art Ross. Then there's that second part, the injury troubles, and you said, is what's next for him? I don't know. Like we just
right.
so much uncertainty. Then he comes back and wins 2 more cups and looks as good as ever.
Yeah, like he's one of the best ever. We can agree on that. Anybody would take Sidney Crosby on their team. Um, let's see, where else should we go? Mike Babcock is doing a fucking media tour right now that like makes me sick almost as a
I
Leafs
was gonna,
fan.
I was gonna say I should be asking you how you feel about this more because that's your old coach right there. That's your old head coach.
The Mitch Marner incident, I do somewhat believe him, but I think he does play mind games. And would it surprise me if he intentionally showed Tyler Bozak the list where Mitch Marner ranked himself on work ethic? That would not surprise me. Um, it really wouldn't, and that sucks to say, but it wouldn't. So I don't know if he's telling the truth on that one.
I think it's the ego for me. It's his
Yeah,
ego that he carries around.
he does have a massive ego, and Mike Commodore. I mean, his Twitter is hilarious when he
Oh,
talks about Mike Babcock.
he hates him.
And then there was Johan Franzen, where he said in a newspaper that he was a bully, that Mike Babcock was a great coach but a terrible human being. I don't know. But then there's the other side of it that Mike brought up in an interview, which is true. He says, "Why would think about it this way? Steve Yzerman played for me, and then he hired me to be the head coach of Team Canada. Brendan Shanahan played for me, and then he hired me to be the coach in Toronto. there is that. And then I was talking to somebody else and they said, well, the difference is those guys are the star players.
So yeah, they don't get if you're a star player like that, you don't get treated like
Yeah.
a role player on a team, right?
And like it's been a couple years. People might not remember, people who don't watch hockey or people who don't watch the Maple Leafs. Mike Babcock getting fired was not a personal thing. It was a coaching thing. He was not coaching the team the way they needed to be coached. Expectations were the playoffs. And then he did that. They did that their first year with Marner and Matthews. Then the expectations were, and they lost to Washington in 6 games. And then the expectation was, okay, get back to the playoffs. Hopefully win around. They went to game 7. They didn't win against the Bruins. It happens. And there was upset. There was like, that sucks. Then comes the next year. They get back to the playoffs. They play Boston again. They get to the game 7. This time they have John Tavares. Expectation is you win. Okay. And when you dumb motherfucker, you play Austin Matthews, your best player, 17 minutes in a game 7, what are you thinking? And you put Patrick Marleau out with 2 minutes to go. He's your extra guy? Are you insane? Why are you playing your third and fourth line when your best players are on the bench? That's the reason Mike Babcock got fired. Not that he was a bad guy and that he might have done that stuff. It was that he did not coach the team the way it needed to be coached. You are a high octane offensive team. Okay. Coach like that.
I'm glad you brought up the coaching thing versus the personality, because correct me if I'm wrong, but how many cups does he have? Is it just the one?
One.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And can we just go back and look at that roster? I'm just saying,
Great team.
I think you and I could have coached that team to a Stanley Cup as well. And then don't get me started. Don't get me started on the Team Canada.
Mm-hmm.
He lives off of that Stanley Cup and that
Yep.
gold medal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once again, you and I could coach that team to a gold medal. Look at the roster.
You had
There's no reason.
He had maybe the 2 best rosters Team Canada has ever assembled. Maybe. That's not for sure, but maybe. And you think that because you could coach that team, your idea of how to coach a team is the only way to go. I'm going to explain something to you, Mike Babcock. You coached the team the way they were coached, okay? You lost 2 years in the playoffs, and you fucked it up because you didn't play your best players. And you didn't play them the way they should be played. Then you get fired. Sheldon Keefe comes in, and since Sheldon Keefe has been the head coach, the Maple Leafs, I think, are either the best or second best team in the NHL. So you fucking tell me, Mike Babcock, whether you were wrong or whether Kyle Dubas was wrong. Because right now, you're looking really wrong on the way you coach that team. It's like that thing. You've watched Moneyball, obviously, when Billy Beane goes into the manager's office, and he goes, you're not playing the way the way they should be played. And he goes, this is my lineup card, whatever. And he's like, this guy's going in, this guy's going in. He's like, no, they're traded. They're not playing. And the guy goes, well, you can't do that. He goes, I can do this all day long. I can trade guys you want to play all day long. You're going to play the team that I have assembled. So it's so frustrating to like hear this guy be like, well, it's it's the way it goes. And, you got to play the guys the way you think. And you're like, God damn it, man. This is not the 2008 Red Wings. Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner are not Henrik Zetterberg and Pavel Datsyuk. You have to play them differently.
And I think that was the biggest thing that he left off that for years. People forget the Red Wings had a lot of early playoff exits. After that cup, they underachieved.
Yeah.
They had a great roster, and people don't remember that because he lived off that gold medal and that one Stanley Cup.
So Mike Babcock, I think he's a good guy. I really do. At the end of the day, I think he's a good guy. But you got fired because of coaching decisions and how you didn't coach the team the way they should have been. But whatever. That's just whatever. Mike Babcock. God, I'm fired up for this episode, aren't I?
Yeah, as I say, you got a little heated about that.
Got a little heated. We will talk about we're gonna mix it up. We're gonna talk about a little another coach that got fired, Claude Julien. What do you think about that, Kurt?
So I was listening to a lot of people discussing this, and my thoughts are this. Once again, this was clearly a coaching thing. That team looks nothing like they started the year, right? But it was like,
Right.
if you look back at last year, they were 24th in the league.
Right.
They just snuck into that play-in round and they won. And yeah, they had a good series against the Flyers as well. But majority of that season, they weren't a good hockey team. And now I think that when they saw signs of that coming sneaking back into their play, just because they started off hot, and then everyone said, "Oh, yeah, this is the team." But now they're starting to go back to that early last season, and I think they knew this. They needed a new voice in the room.
Um, I think I think firing Claude Julien is not fair. I don't think it's his fault. I don't think it's his fault. I think the reason Marc Bergevin fired Claude Julien is so that Marc Bergevin didn't get fired. Because for all you Montreal Canadiens fans, I am sorry to say this, your team is not that good.
Isn't it funny though that they were going on about how good Marc Bergevin, GM of the year? Look at the signings, Anderson, Toffoli. Now all of a sudden, also, can we go back to something that I said prior in one of the prior episodes? I was talking about don't pay running backs big money, right? Because they're replaceable and stuff. Can we talk about paying goalies $10+ million?
Yeah,
Look at
it's not a good
look
move.
at look at Bobrovsky and Price.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm almost at the point where I'm at the same opinion on that. Don't pay. You can replace that. That's a system thing. Your defense, you obviously goaltending is incredibly important, but they've shown, like, look at the Blue Jackets last year, right?
Yeah,
Korpisalo, Merzlikins, like, you can find, unless you, there's Rask, there's Vasilevsky, and Price is still great, but I'm just saying paying a goalie, especially at that age, when you get to that, what is Bobrovsky 30 as well, and Price is now 33 or 34. If you get into that age, that 30 plus, and you're paying them $10 million, that is a risky game.
Yeah, like the only guy I can remember that was really still good at an old age was Brodeur. Hasek was pretty good too.
Good, Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah, Fleury too. That's true.
He might be the exception right now, but
yeah. So you Montreal Canadian fans, your team isn't that good. Okay, you built your offense. Like the two saviors you thought were going to come and get you guys in the playoffs was Josh Anderson and Tyler Toffoli. I love me some Josh Anderson. I think he's a great hockey player. I'd love him to have I'd love to have him on the Maple Leafs. I think he's fantastic. He is not the centerpiece of your forward core. And to think that they are. And I feel like I think you were about to say, like, I feel bad for the guys.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I feel bad for him because he's, like you said, he's a tremendous player. I would take him on my team in a heartbeat. And especially in a media market like Montreal, as soon as that guy goes through a little drought this year, they're going to be all over him. But that guy's, he's not a 60, 70 point scorer. That's not what he does. And he's been fantastic so far. But for you to put that offense on his shoulders, even Toffoli is not. I know he's on pace for something like 40 goals or whatever, right?
He's not a
40 goal scorer. So when those guys, their stats come back down to earth, and they go back to the player you got in free agency, that media is going to be all over them.
Like, it's so frustrating to hear people be like, "Oh, we're this good," and then it's like, "Oh, it's Claude Julien's fault." No, it's not. When you guys were at the top of the division or battling the Leafs for the top of the division, Jeff Petrie was shooting 30%.
That's
Tyler Toffoli was shooting 25%. Same with Josh Anderson. Like, they were way over the career averages. It made no sense. They were getting hot. They were getting lucky. That's what they were. Your team's not that good. Marc Bergevin should be fired because I shouldn't say fired, but he hasn't built the team yet. Claude Julien should not have been fired.
If they continue this trend, it's only a matter of time. He won't last till the end of the year.
No, like
He will last, and this will be the last year.
Like it's so frustrating to hear these guys think that their team is like otherworldly and like they're gonna win the division. They're gonna like go to the playoffs and dominate. What like no, it's your team isn't good enough. Like I don't know. I don't know what else to say besides your team just isn't good enough. And it's not the coach's fault because of that.
That's
it's
exactly
your GM's fault. So the only reason Claude Julien got fired is so Marc Bergevin wouldn't get fired. That's the only reason. And Claude Julien will get picked up quick because he's a good coach. And Marc Bergevin was going over like how Claude Julien is like basically like an old timer and his message doesn't resonate with the young players and whatnot. I don't see that.
I got an interesting thought. Does Seattle have a coach yet?
I don't even know. I don't think so.
Interesting.
I don't think so. But he could go. There's other guys. Gerard Gallant.
That's what I was thinking too.
Bruce
He's probably
Boudreau, he's out there still. Like
there's a lot of good coaches.
Mm-hmm. So we were gonna do whatever. Claude Julien shouldn't have got fired. Montreal sucks. You get the gist. We're gonna do a little game now. If some of you watch the NBA, you see like on TNT they do who he played for with Chuck because Chuck can't remember where anybody plays. So we're going to do where he live. Okay, we're going to do where he live with NHL players. All right. So how do you want to do this, Kurt? You want to go back and forth or?
Yeah, sure. We'll each submit a player and you just have to, they have to play minimum one game this year. You just have to name the team they currently play for.
Okay.
Do you want to lead it off?
Yeah, sure. I think I'm going to get 0 of them right.
Yeah, we could be in tough here, but it'll be fun.
Okay. Player number 1. Where does Giovanni Smith play?
Giovanni Smith. He was originally a Red Wing. Oh, is it Detroit?
Is that your final answer?
Give me 1 sec. I'm stuck between Detroit and Dallas.
Okay. Take your time.
Oh man. All right, give me 1 sec. I'll go Detroit.
Ding 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 ding.
Yeah.
I saw him on a highlight and I was like, who is that guy? I've never seen this man in my life. And I was like, no clue who this guy is. But oh wow, okay, Kurt's got 1 on the board. That's pretty crazy.
All right,
I'm not feeling good with this. All right, you go.
All right, my first one, I submit Jack Johnson.
Rangers.
That's right.
Wow. I see. Okay.
Nice.
I wasn't sure how we were doing this. Like, I didn't know if we were supposed to get like players that people would know. And it's just like, where does he play now? So I think mine are way harder than yours are going to be.
Okay.
Like, because I literally picked nobodies.
Okay. I mean, all right. Well, we'll see. Mine are like kind of in between. I tried to pick players who like the viewers will recognize.
Right.
But the team they might not because they've recently changed.
So I might have done this wrong.
So we'll go with it. We'll see.
Okay. Where does Jacob Middleton play? Where does he live?
Jacob Middleton?
Yeah. I had no idea who this guy was either.
Yeah, when I was originally playing this game out, this is not the idea I was thinking of.
Sorry.
All right, just give me 1 sec. Jacob Middleton, eh? The Blackhawks? Wrong.
Jacob Middleton plays for the San Jose Sharks.
I am not gonna lie.
I am so sorry, Kurt. I had no idea.
I don't even know who that is.
I'm sorry.
When you hear the names of my players, compared
Yeah.
to that, Jeff. All right, you ready for number 2?
Okay.
All right. Where does Ian Cole play now?
Ian Cole. Fuck. Because I think he just changed teams. Fuck, I just saw him too. Oh, I just saw him.
That's the worst when you just
I just
right
seen where
there,
he played. Because
right
I
on the
was
tip of your
going for a
tongue.
player on his roster. I was thinking about it. And now I forget. Oh my god. Does Ian Cole
I'm still
play-
angry. You named.
Does he play
Jacob
for
Middleton.
Minnesota?
Oh God, yes.
Oh,
God damn it.
I got it. I got it. I got it. Can't believe that.
Yeah. All right, whatever.
Okay. God damn it. I'm so sorry.
I don't even know.
Okay,
if
I'm
want
gonna
to
give you
know
hints
the
on mine. I'm gonna give you hints on mine. Okay.
What's your last one? Let's hear it.
Kalen Anderson. I don't even know if that's how you say his name.
This is ridiculous.
He
This
plays.
is absurd, man.
He plays. I don't even know what it's considered now. The West Division, I guess, or Pacific Division, or whatever.
Can you say the name again?
Kalen Addison.
Oh, that's the kid that was originally drafted from the Penguins, the prospect. Just the way you Kalen
Okay,
Addison,
okay, so you're onto something. So he was traded.
Yeah.
Where was he traded
last
to?
year? Oh man, he was traded last year. Just give me one sec. Kalen Addison. Wow. He was in the Jason Zucker trade. He's in Minnesota, isn't he?
Ding, 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 ding. Wow.
Nice.
What a move. Wow. You're better. You are way better at this than me. Because like
I had to
didn't even know
recover
who
for
these
that
guys
one.
were.
Yeah. I was trying to think and then all right.
So we're
the last
2-2. We're 2-2. This will decide it.
By the way, I don't have it. It's ending in a tie because I don't have another one ready.
This is under protest, this game, because I completely picked nobody. So Big
Jacob
P, this game is
Middleton.
under protest.
Unbelievable.
All right, who do you got?
Ready for this last one?
Yeah.
This is a former Leaf. All right.
Okay.
We're gonna do. I submit Kyle Clifford.
I don't know. I'm gonna say Dallas.
It's actually St. Louis.
Oh my God.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
That's tough. Should have known that. Wow, Kyle Clifford. Okay. We're gonna do this again in a future week, but like now that I know what we're doing, it'll be better. Okay.
All right. We can do some other sports too. It's a fun game to throw in, mix in here and there.
Where he lived. So that was where he lived. That was fun. Do you want to go right into the other game we have planned today?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Okay. We got another game for you. Back to back hitter for you. We are doing the MLB Top 100, and we are going to do basically an over-under. Is the player too high on the list or too low on the list? So I think Kurt has a lot less than I do. So
yeah.
Kurt,
Are we keeping this simple? Just high or playing high or low? Just keeping it simple?
High or low? Too high or too low?
All right. I got the first guy, Michael Brantley at 36. Too high.
Too high.
All right. Javi Baez, 61. Too high.
Too low.
You got too low?
Too low.
Interesting. Yeah. You like a 203 batting average, eh?
Well, no, because this is what I'll say is that when you look at where other shortstops came in on the list, which I'll get into in a minute, you'll see.
Yeah. Last player, Max Muncy at 45 is too high.
Too high. Yeah, he's too
Yeah.
high. Okay, for me, Giancarlo Stanton at 97, too low.
Yep, too low.
Joey Gallo at 87, too low.
No. That's probably where I have him, around there, or too high.
Okay. Blake Snell at 80. I say too low.
Yeah, I got too low as well.
Because I look at like where the players ahead of him are. Like Kenta Maeda is right ahead of him.
He had a good year though. He's
and
good.
Gio
Twins,
Urshela is ahead of them.
yeah, but if you look at it, it's the top 100 right now. Urshela was
I
really
guess.
good for the Yankees, especially with like when LeMahieu went down, they had all those injuries in that infield. He was huge.
I do look at like, was it a fluke? And like, I don't know. Whatever.
It's hard to tell with this list because it looks like if you look at the criteria, it's supposed to be MLB 100 right now, but then half it's almost like it was half and half, right? Like look at the names. Some are based on their names and recent success. Some are very recent, like right now, like
well,
the way
yeah.
it should. So
like,
I don't know how the criteria was used.
Because like when you look at it, like Trevor Bauer, who won Cy Young, is not the highest ranked pitcher.
Yeah, that's what I mean, right?
So like it does not make sense.
Well, here that's an even better example. But look, Shane Bieber was in the top 10, right?
Mm-hmm. And there was pitchers ahead of him.
Well, weren't they both Cy Young winners last year?
Yeah.
So why?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, if you say it that way,
right?
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like one was at 8, the other was at 28 or whatever it was, right?
That makes sense.
That's what I mean, right? That's a perfect example.
Dominic Smith, 67, too high.
You know what? I originally said yes. If you look up his stats though, I don't know. That's probably close. They were pretty impressive.
Mike Yastrzemski, 51, too high.
Maybe, but he is another guy that are really good last year. But the thing is, it bugs me because it was a short year, right? Just very short-term success. And that goes back to that criteria. Like, what's this based on? Because I saw some guys he had better stats than some guys, but then some guys got the name treatment where they were hired because of their name. So I don't know. Like,
it's confusing.
I'd say maybe slightly high, but he had a really good year.
Trevor Bauer, 29, too low.
Too low. Yep. Both too low for sure.
And then here comes the shortstops. And this is why I say Javier Baez is too low. I mean, he had a bad year, granted. That is true. But who I think maybe the best shortstop in baseball, or I don't even think it's a debate, really. I mean, I guess it could be. Tim Anderson is 27. Okay? Follow me here. Tim Anderson is 27. Trey Turner is 26. How does that make sense?
Trey Turner's pretty good. I'd probably have that similar.
He is good, but I don't think he's higher than Tim Anderson.
I do. I would have him higher.
Xander Bogaerts. He's higher than both of them.
I think 25. He's really good too.
Corey Seager is at 24. I think, like, I just don't understand because Tim Anderson, I think, has won the batting title 2 years in a row.
Yeah, I think like Xander and Trey Turner probably a little better defensively, and I know, like, the power, a little more power for Trey Turner, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, maybe Tim Anderson. I'd have to check those home runs, but
yeah,
I think the Corey Seager one, he had a really good playoff, but this list shouldn't be just based off playoff. Like this season before, he had the Tommy John surgery, right? And that I feel like that's boosted because of the World Series. But I don't think he's a better shortstop than those three.
So that's why I would think like Javier Baez in the 60s versus those guys in the 20s, and Tim Anderson being the second lowest out of those the shortstops I just mentioned, or the lowest, I guess, out of the ones that are in the 20s. I think that's asinine to me.
Well, there's guys that are in between there too, like Correa and Bichette were ahead of Baez as well. But I don't view Baez the same anymore. His OBP has been bad. He doesn't get on base and he doesn't hit for average. He still can hit for a little bit of power, but it's just I don't view him as the same player I did 2 years ago. I
think it's a down year. I think midway through this season we'll be like, no, he's back.
I guess that's the issue too with this list because it's an MLB Now list, right?
Yeah, it's confusing.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper 22, too high.
Yeah, you know what? I totally agree.
Too
And
high.
that's that name again, right? It goes.
Yeah.
That's where that's getting boosted by the name. I totally agree, though. Too high.
Like he was an MVP and he had one of the best MVP seasons ever, but since
If people
then
look,
he really hasn't. He's played okay. He's played good.
yeah,
He's a good
but
player, but
that's the thing, though. That's what he is. He's really good player, but he's not great. If you look at the
right.
stats and you go back for the last 4 or 5 years, he is really good, but not crazy impressive
Mhm.
statistics. So yeah, I
Um,
agree. Too high.
and then I do take exception with a lot of the top 10. Um, so 10 is Cody Bellinger. Christian Yelich is 9. Or no, Cody Bellinger is 10. Christian Yelich is 9. Anthony Rendon at 8. Ronald Acuna Jr. at 7. Fernando Tatis Jr. at 6. Juan Soto at 5. Freddie Freeman at 4. Jacob DeGrom at 3. Mookie Betts at 2. And obviously Mike Trout at 1.
I don't hate that.
There's a lot of things I take exception with. I guess they could be there, but Ronald Acuna and Fernando Tatis, I think they're the future. I don't think they're right now. I think there's guys that are better than them. Guys,
Yeah,
Trevor Bauer.
that's yeah. See, this we keep coming back to this, but that's that right. That's that now conversation again
Yeah.
because Tatis was unbelievable last year. Same with Acuna's been good for the last 2 years, right? And I think by the end of this year, they will be firmly in that category. But yeah, maybe you got the Cy Young winners, and there's a few other guys you could definitely push up into that top 10 possibly.
Freddie Freeman, he won MVP, but I don't know if he's at 4. Anthony Rendon, he's very good. I don't know if he's at 8. Like, there's a lot of guys that you're like, I guess, but like, if I was doing a list, they wouldn't be in my top 10.
I think baseball could be the most difficult sport to make this list in just because of the difference position player, pitcher. This could be the hardest one to make this list in.
Yeah.
There's also so many statistics that are valuable.
Yeah,
like
that's
you
true.
could be good in 3 of 5 categories and be an incredible player, right? Like some guys just offer a lot more in different categories than others.
Right. Yeah, so there's the MLB Top 100. It's on MLB.com and their Instagram page and everywhere. You can go look and make your own decisions on what you think. We'll move on to Albert Pujols, who is a first ballot Hall of Famer. His wife came out and said that I think on Instagram or something that this is the first day of the last year of Albert Pujols's career. People don't remember how good Albert Pujols was. He was maybe the best hitter in baseball for a number of years.
He'll go down as one of the best ever.
Yeah, like it was like when you really looked at it, like it was the best players in the league were A-Rod, Jeter, Junior, and then Pujols. Like those were the best players.
When I think baseball growing up, I think of all those, what is it, probably a decade's worth of really good St. Louis Cardinals team. Yeah. And you immediately think Albert Pujols.
Yeah. So like, and there was like a thing where like you could go back and look at his stats and like actually compared to Mike Trout, he was actually better. Like over, Mike Trout's whatever first 10 years in the league, I think over Pujols' first 10 years, he was the best in the league. Like he had a streak of like 10 plus years where he had a 300 average. He had 30 home runs a year. I think he had 90 or 100 RBIs every year.
Well, I'm looking at it right now, and he has 662 home runs.
Yeah, it's an insane number. Absolutely insane number.
That is wild.
He's a first ballot for sure.
299 career batting average, like 10-time All-Star, 3-time MVP.
Like the 299 average, and that was like because of his last few years that he slept.
2,100 RBIs.
That's crazy. Um, so he'll go in the Hall of Fame. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer for sure. Um, go look up his stats. His stats are insane. He was a great player. But we are going to move on. We have our first guest ever on the podcast, my cousin Duffy and our mutual friend Keigs. They were more than gracious enough to give us, about 50 minutes of their time. And, I got the chance to sit down with them and we talked about NBA All-Star, the game, whether the game should happen, the selections, who got snubbed. But you'll hear all that. It was, it's really exciting for us to have our first guests on. We want to do this more in the future. But right now, here is my conversation, my interview with Duffy and Keigs. Okay, we're here. We're doing it. We have our first guest ever on the show. 4th episode. I mean, that's pretty killer. So, let me welcome onto the show my cousin, my boy. We got Duffy in the house. What's going on, Duff?
Just living the dream, buddy.
Just living the dream, living the COVID life. And we got Keigs. We got Coley Mack over here. What's going on, Keigs?
Me, bro.
Yeah? Hey, man. Anytime. Yeah, so we were going to do this for the mid-season NBA show type thing. The All-Star teams just got announced, and actually before we hit record, the reserves got announced. So it's pretty exciting. First of all, I'm going to throw out this question. We're in the middle of a pandemic, right? Last year in the playoffs, they had bubbles in both the NHL, the NBA, and they're really cautious about testing players. Do you think it's a good idea to bring guys from 15 different cities to one spot to play a game? Because I'm thinking if one guy gets COVID or is around somebody who has COVID,
season's over.
Like you have all those teams that have to stop playing.
Yeah.
I just think if they do the bubble this year like they did last year, that it'll be done differently because
lost your train of thought.
Yeah, I did. Like the season wasn't going on when they had the bubble last season, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So all the players were coming in from quarantining by themselves.
Yeah.
Everybody's playing this year. They're all over the place, living their lives.
Yeah.
Like, if there will be positive tests, it'll be way harder.
Yeah.
Bring them all together.
I think that you're just asking for trouble.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. I don't know how they're gonna do it. And like NBA on TNT had Adam Silver on, and they were asking him like, why do you need to do this? Like, why is it necessary? And he was like, well, like we've been doing it for 60-something years, and it gets the fans involved and whatever. And I kind of get that, but like, if the MLB didn't do a All-Star game, if the NFL didn't do a Pro Bowl, if the NHL didn't do the All-Star game, like, I don't know why yours is so much more important.
Plenty of players have voiced that they don't really feel like they need to have one or don't want to have one.
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of players just didn't go.
Well, it keeps people, there's not much to look forward to nowadays, really,
No.
And, I'm excited. I'm pumped to watch the All-Star game.
Yeah, I think the game itself will be good.
Oh, yeah.
But, it's just, the big question of, is it a good move or not? And I don't know.
Yeah, I get that.
It might not be.
Yeah. But, it's all about money, really. I don't think they really care as long as they're bringing in more money.
Yeah, that's true. I guess if you make enough dollars, it doesn't really matter if you miss a few
and
NBA
they're
games.
Making money, but it's not like they're having fans, so they're not making an abundance.
That's true.
Money.
No, yeah, it's just all the TV revenue, right? And I wonder if it's in a lot of players' contracts that they have to be an all-star for incentives. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder if the PA is the ones that are like, no, we really want to do this. Like, get our players that money and whatever. But
I mean, like, you heard LeBron basically say that he didn't want to go, right? But what is it if LeBron doesn't go to the All-Star game?
That's
like,
true.
what is that doing for the NBA? Like,
yeah, your biggest star doesn't go.
Pissing a lot of people off. That's about it.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I mean, I get why they're doing it, but it's
Yeah.
whatever. So the starters got announced for both teams, I guess, on the weekend, and for the West, it breaks down as Doncic in the backcourt with Curry, and then LeBron, Kawhi, and Jokic up front.
disgusting.
That is disgusting.
That's a
That's a good team.
That's a disgusting team, but
Yeah.
I'm going to give you some stat lines.
Yeah.
Okay. So player A is averaging 30 points. Player B is averaging 29. Player C is averaging 30 points. Player A has 6 assists. Player B has 9. Player C has 8. Rebounds, it's 5 to 9 to 4. So these players are Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, and Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard is on the 5th seed Portland Trailblazers, and he's not a starter. But Luka Doncic is on the 9th seed Mavericks.
It's kind of new to the league, too.
They're trying to push Luka down your
Like, in a
throat.
way.
Yeah, they're trying to push Luka. I could definitely see that.
I don't like Dame personally, but
You just don't like his rap, probably.
OKC
clearly,
What?
fan. OKC fan.
OKC fan.
Yeah, not a
But,
fan of that buzzer beater.
Doncic is like generating more revenue for the league, you know?
Yeah, he's a star.
And
He's the
it's
pretty
fans
boy.
that are voting, right? On the starters.
Do you like that?
So, I voted.
Did you? But do you
a
like?
couple times. I didn't stay faithful to it every day.
But do you like the idea that like the fans decide really who is deemed the best players?
No, because it's going to come down to popularity.
Yeah, it's a glorified popularity contest. That's all it is.
What made them pick the team captains?
I think whoever got the most votes.
Yeah.
I think that's
I think it would be fair for them to flip the way they do the All-Star, and the people from the NBA choose the starters, and the fans get to choose the reserves with whoever's left over, you know?
But like from a pool of players.
Yeah.
So like the NBA determines like these are the players you can vote for, and kind of like they do with the starters. Yeah.
But, like, when you go on to vote, they give you all the players, but like you don't vote.
Yeah.
For,
Yeah, that's true. I think Dame should have been a starter. I mean, he's on a higher seed team than the both of them.
Yeah.
He's maybe going to win MVP.
No.
Like, he's the best player on a 5th seed team.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, first he's got to pass LeBron and Embiid.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying,
and
like,
Jokic.
but
and
no,
Jokic.
but like, let's keep it to like Doncic and Curry. Like, are they really having that much better seasons than Dame?
Curry's having a better season than Dame.
I mean, he's working with less, but
I don't know.
I guess you could make that argument.
I watched that. What was it? 62-point game.
Yeah,
I watched that. That was ridiculous. That was a great game.
just
man.
shooting from everywhere.
Oh, it was like he was fouled left, right, and center, and they just kept going. And
Okay. I actually said this, I think maybe last week on the show, that I knew Steph Curry was good. Obviously, he won 2 MVPs.
yeah,
But, like, he's on a 73-win team, and he's winning MVP, and you're kind of like, no shit.
yeah.
But, like, now he's on a bad team, and he's putting up better numbers.
He's got to do it himself, you know?
He's got to do it all himself. But
Yep.
it's the way it is sometimes. So then the East breaks down as Kyrie, Bradley Beal in the backcourt, KD, Giannis, and Embiid up front. I'll say right now, Kyrie shouldn't be a starter. Kyrie shouldn't be an all-star.
You don't think Kyrie should be an All-Star?
I mean, the guy sat out 3
I
weeks.
think
Fuck
considering
him.
his antics,
Yeah.
that's
Exactly.
a fair argument.
Like,
Yeah.
you can't sit out 2 weeks
Just because.
just because you want to. Like, they're mad at players sitting out 1 game in the NBA. And this guy's like, I'm going on a 2-week vacation.
Yep. Need to clear
Yeah.
my head.
Like, that's insane. I mean, there's some other players that, like, you could have put in instead, like, Jaylen Brown. James Harden.
Harden didn't make it this year?
Well, Harden made it.
But
He
he's
made
not
it
a
as a
starter.
reserve, but
He's
he's not a starter. I mean, I know you got Bradley Beal in the backcourt. Do you think the Wizards should trade Westbrook?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I think so.
he is just there to ride out his contract, and he'll be able to choose where he wants to go. It'll be like,
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan of Russ, like, at all.
No?
Really. No.
I said this, I don't know what episode I said it on, but, like, Russ is my favorite player now.
I like, I don't
Just
know, man. I feel like nobody...
destructive.
I feel like nobody likes him on that team.
I love the fact that he's, like, his mentality of, like, I want to win so bad, I don't care how we do it. I just love. Like,
That's
he's like a worse version of, like, a Michael Jordan or, like, a Kobe Bryant, where they'll shit talk their own team if it means they can win the game.
That's true.
I just love that.
He's pure competition. He's got no time for nothing else.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know, man. Like,
he's not out there to make friends, you know?
big thing with winning is team chemistry. And if your team doesn't like you, how the fuck are you gonna win?
But, like, you know what? Like, I've heard the argument of, like,
Him and Beal.
well, Beal, like...
But did you hear the comments that Beal made the other day about Westbrook?
No.
About how he's one of the best teammates he's ever had. And when he got there, he understood that he was kind of looked upon, everybody hated him, but he realized he's not that bad.
See, that's the thing with the media, eh? Like, they make it seem like, oh no, Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook are fighting now. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they make it so much worse than it really is.
Well, like if we go back to the OKC team with him and Harden and Durant, like, it seems like they pick out Westbrook about that he's like a cancer, he's a problem in the locker room. But, like, think about it. So he stays in OKC. The other 2 guys leave. Paul George comes in. It doesn't work out. Paul George goes to the Clippers.
Melo comes.
Melo comes. That didn't work out.
And
I mean, Melo is Melo's actually surprisingly good.
Yeah, he's doing well still.
Like, he's
He has some
surprising.
time off.
Yeah.
yeah.
Had some time away from the
Yeah.
league.
But, like, so, Westbrook gets dealt to the Rockets,
Sad day.
and, he's playing with Harden. That doesn't work out. So
Their
then,
games were fun to watch, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work out. He goes to the
It
Wizards, and
didn't
now
work
he's
out
on the
the
Wizards.
first time. I don't know why they thought it was going to work out the second time. I understand they were more mature as players, but it still goes down to the same shit.
Yeah.
Harden needs the ball a lot, and so does Westbrook.
Well, and then I'll say this, like, then you look at Harden. He leaves, he goes to Houston. Who does he get? He gets Chris Paul. That doesn't work out. Then he gets Westbrook back. That doesn't work out. So now he's in Brooklyn. Like, I'm just
And
saying,
it's working out in Brooklyn. though.
it's working out.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, they all have their problems.
But
Like,
you-
the 3 of them have their problems. Like, I don't think it should just be on Westbrook.
No, that's true.
There's a lot of things that didn't work out because of all of it.
And you see Chris Paul go from Houston to Oklahoma. Look what he did with that Thunder team.
That's true. He did really well.
He did really well.
He did.
Like,
It was honestly amazing to watch that season.
like, I think Shea Gilgeous-Alexander should, like, I think he should, on his next contract, I mean, a portion of it should go to Chris Paul. Like, I mean, it's like Chris Paul's agents be like, we're worth like 25% of that contract. And just, like, give it to us.
It's true. You see the way Shea plays now, you see a lot of Chris Paul. Fouls, the way he's moving around.
Yeah.
You know who I'm a fan of?
Who?
Steven Adams.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Big Steve.
He's a monster.
He is a big guy.
He's
I
a
love him.
monster.
Like, he's, like, when I really noticed him and I was like, this guy's I like this guy as a player, was when they were playing Golden State, and him and Draymond were going at it in the playoffs.
The need of the balls.
And like, yeah,
Fucking Draymond.
Draymond was kicking guys in the nuts, and Steven Adams like, I'm not taking any of that shit.
I do not like
And
Draymond.
he just foul him so hard going into the paint.
He's so strong. You can't. Draymond had no choice but to go dirty. You can't do nothing.
Well, do you remember when Zion said, like, he said in a press conference, he was like, I thought I was strong, and then I saw Steven Adams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Have you seen some of the screens Steven Adams set?
oh my,
It's scary.
it's like,
Like, it's running into a brick wall.
it's like,
Yep.
it's like the point guard has the ball, you're like playing defense on him. Steven Adams comes in, and you're like, where'd they build that brick wall from? That went up really quick. Like that mortar set in really quick. That was weird.
I will
Yeah.
admit, watching him, sometimes he's very out of place.
Yeah.
He doesn't really.
doing
He's
good
got a
on
little
the-
JaVale McGee in him,
Yeah.
but that's all right.
He's doing good on the
But when he's
Falcons,
good,
yeah.
he's good. And
Yeah.
when he's bad, he's really bad.
Yeah,
He's
you, know,
bad.
you notice.
He's bad. You're definitely not building a team
No.
around Steven Adams.
No. No.
That's for sure.
He's just a big man that's going to get you boards and set you good picks.
His tattoos are sweet too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that was the other thing. I was like, this guy's a cool guy, and then I'm like, his tattoos look sick.
But you know what? He came to OKC in the Harden trade from Houston.
Did he?
Yeah.
I think I got drafted by OKC.
Don't think he ever played for Houston,
Okay.
but yeah.
Interesting. You
That
learn
is interesting.
you learn something new every day. The more you know. Okay, so the reserves. So Lillard obviously made the reserves for the West, along with Chris Paul.
That's good.
Like that.
That's a good
I
pick.
like that too.
Paul George, who's actually having a good year.
Yep.
Your favorite player.
Yeah, he's one of them.
Is he your favorite player, or did he used to be your favorite
He
player?
used, like, I'd say Indiana Pacers Paul George is my favorite player.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to stand by that.
So, I mean, I looked up his numbers, and, like, from when he was with Indiana.
Mm.
And I was like, man, he was, scoring 24 points a night. And then I looked at his field goal percentage. He was shooting like 41% from the field. The guy was just chucking up anything he could get. And I was like, this guy's a shooter. This guy's a shooter, man. He was good at D, though. That was.
I like his dunking, man.
He could throw it down.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Who was the guy? Who was the older guy that he played with in Indiana? Who was Danny Granger?
Yeah.
Yep.
Man,
with,
did that not work out?
No, he played with Roy
Hibbert.
Yeah.
And
he was
his
good.
career plummeted.
Yeah.
But Danny Granger, like he was,
He was good.
like
but-
I think he scored like 25 points one year, like a game.
Yeah.
Like he was
Yeah.
kind of killer. And then he just I think he got hurt, and then he was just like slow,
Mm.
not athletic anymore.
Yeah.
So PG, Zion,
Zion made the...
you got a problem with that?
No.
No?
No, I don't. I'm actually, like, glad.
Do you think, okay,
I would like to see Ja make it.
I think it's like we came back before. People would much rather see Zion.
Yeah.
do you think it is more profitable for the league to build the game or to build their brand around Doncic or Zion? Because I think those are the only two guys.
But Ja's climbing.
I mean, Ja's climbing, but like you have, like, it's so weird. Like you kind of have like LeBron James split into two players.
That
You
is
have
true.
like the triple double guy of Luka, and then you have the freak athleticism from Zion.
Zion needs to lose weight.
Zion does need to lose weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. I want him to because I want to see him continue to play.
Yeah, his
His
knees
knees
are
aren't
his
gonna
knees
hold
are
up.
gonna be
Yeah,
destroyed.
like he is fucking huge.
I heard all these people comparing him when he first came out of college. They were comparing him to Charles Barkley. Did you ever hear the story of Charles Barkley when he was getting drafted and he went on a binge? You ever hear this story?
No.
So he was like a top he was like a top prospect in the draft.
Yeah.
And there was rumors that the 76ers were going to draft him. And he did not want to go to the 76ers. He's like, fuck that. And so for a week, he just ate as much food as he could, so he showed up looking as fat as possible and so out of shape. Like ate pancakes, ribs, anything, ice cream, anything he could get his hands on.
He's not very bright.
And he was like 300 pounds.
Oh, fuck.
And then Philly drafted him. Like, it completely backfired on him. So now he's got 50 pounds worth of weight on
Now
him.
he's fat and he doesn't wear.
He's not where he wants to be. So, like, now he's like, fuck. And then I think, like, Moses Malone was like, hey, man, you really got to lose weight. Like, you look terrible. And then he was like, he's like, lose, like, he was like 300 pounds. He's like, lose, like, 10 pounds and then come back to me. He's like, I got down to, like, 245. He's like, I feel great. I felt way better. Yeah. So Zion, and they got Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis having a down year.
He's not going to be able to make it though.
No.
Yeah,
But, so somebody else has to fill in for him.
Devin Booker.
Who?
Devin Booker.
He's on it.
Good.
Oh, wait.
He is now because AD can't go.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
LeBron James said himself today, most like underestimated player in the league, like something like that,
Devin Booker?
Yeah, like
Yeah. I mean, the guy put up 70 points
Yeah.
in the Garden.
Yeah.
to do that in the new NBA.
That's big time. That is big time. What do you think? Let's say the record books are wiped clean.
Okay.
There's no records.
Like as of right now?
As of right now, there's no
Okay.
records. What do you think is a feasible amount of points for somebody to score in an NBA game for it to be the record? Like, do you think somebody could score 81 points again?
I don't think
I
anybody's
don't-
like that. Like,
I don't
Like-
think so.
No.
I really
I don't think the game is like that now. Like, I don't think they would allow somebody to go out there and
Play 48 minutes
do that themselves.
in a regular season
Yes.
game? No. Playoff game? Yeah. Regular season game? No.
That's why Kobe was different.
Kobe was different. Kobe would like go up to the coach and he was like, "Hey, Kobe, I want to take you in." He's like, "Go fuck yourself. I'm staying in." Like,
Yep. He didn't give a shit.
nah. So, like, what do you think? Like, 75 points?
Like
Like
as
in the
like
70s?
as like a insane all points in one game type thing.
Yeah, like nobody's gonna score 100. We know that.
No. And it
It's
hasn't-
super unlikely somebody scores 81.
I mean, we've seen 70 be done, so 70 is clearly a
Yeah.
likely number.
I think it's in the 70s, but like
and
that's still a shitload of points.
recently 62
Two this
from
year.
Curry.
This year,
Yeah.
I mean, Fred VanVleet scored 54.
Yeah, like that's insane. For
He
him.
scored how
Yeah.
many? 11 3-pointers?
Yeah.
He's wet, man.
He wet like water.
He is. It's brutal.
Yeah. Should he have been All-Star?
Yes. I actually think you know what?
I mean, he's only averaging 20.
Fuck it. Take Kyrie out of there, put Freddie. Why not?
That's
Why not?
It's a bold statement.
It's bold, but why not?
Did you put Tatum? Was Tatum on there? No, did they?
Yeah, Tatum is on the team. But finishing out the West, Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Which, again, you could almost be like, he should be a starter because he's on the highest seeded team in the West.
Spite
He's the best player on the team.
ever since Shaq basically called him shit, they've been on
Yeah.
a ridiculous tear. Like,
Do you think he was, like, okay, because Shaq has been on
he
this,
knows.
Shaq's been on
He's
this,
not
like,
stupid.
rampage of players where he's like, that guy ain't shit. I dunk over that guy. Barbecue chicken. Do you think that's actually like to get under people's skin, or to like, because his excuse was that he was like, no, I'm just like I'm motivating younger players to be like, even if you can't do this and you can't do this and you can't do this, but you can do this, you could make $100 million.
Maybe he's just bored.
He could just be bored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like Shaq told Donovan Mitchell that he doesn't think he can take to that next level. But if you're Donovan Mitchell, Shaq telling you that,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
How many points do you think Shaq could average if he played today? Like I'm talking 45-year-old Shaq. Like if he was like, I'm leaving the desk, I'm back on the court. How many points do you think he would score?
A game?
Yeah.
Like how much he would average?
Yeah, what would he average?
Maybe, I'd say close to 20 points, maybe.
20 points?
Yeah, I
12.
think so, man. I think 20 points.
I was going to say like 6.
Really?
Yeah.
It is Shaq.
I mean, he wouldn't be out there starting, so I
No.
guess, yeah.
Like, I think like 6. Like his last year in
Yeah.
Boston, he was averaging like 8 points a game. Maybe not. Maybe like 11. 20 though. Okay.
I want to give him the
What about
benefit of
Kenny
the doubt.
Smith? Kenny Smith with his broken knees. His knees are fucked.
2.
2 points. I mean, the guy can still shoot threes, but fuck, getting up and down the court.
He's not moving around. He's
He
just,
looks
he's
terrible.
just planting his feet.
I don't
He
know.
can't even run to the board.
You know
when
what'd be
they're on.
really cool to see?
Chuck would have
halftime,
a
you know?
heart attack in the first quarter.
You know what'd be really cool to see to come back, though?
Who?
Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
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 Why is he a pussy now, man?
What?
Like,
What are you talking about?
Why is he pushing?
just
Yeah.
his whole thing has changed. You know, like his look, his like everything. you know?
Still D Wade.
I know, but it's just different seeing D Wade like that. You know.
I can't chirp D Wade because it's D Wade. Can't do it.
Probably because he scores you a bunch of points on my team. You're like, man, he
That
scored me like
too.
55 points last night. I can't talk shit about.
Yeah, exactly. Can't stop him.
Can't stop the Flash.
No way.
So the East is Harden. No surprise. Julius Randle. That guy is.
I mean, if you
that
look at
guy's
his
balling.
numbers, what he's been doing,
He is doing
definitely
pretty
deserves
well.
it.
I did see one stat or one like thing on Instagram, and it was like, Julius Randle is averaging more points than Anthony Davis. He's averaging more. I hate when people do that because they'll be like, this player is averaging more than this player, and then more in this category of this player, more in this category of this player, and then you look up his stat line, and it's like, yeah, he's like, you know, his averages are like 12, 5, and 5. Like, you're like, that's not really that impressive. But Julius Randle, I mean, he's balling.
but I mean,
Oh, yeah.
stats are stats. But compared to when you watch, there's a lot of stuff that goes on that isn't on a stat sheet. You know,
It's
like
intangibles.
plays. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like how
Tangibles.
smart you are. You know, just like locking down the defense.
Yeah.
You know, cornering guys.
Tangibles.
Intangible stuff.
I thought you said tangibles.
So tangibles are things you can measure.
I get you.
You get me now?
I,
You get me that? That
I
high
feel
school
like you did say
education coming in for you?
tangibles.
Yep. All right, let's bring her around here. Let's do a full circle here.
And then Rudy Gobert. Oh, fuck, I already talked about that one.
Yeah.
What am I talking about?
Okay.
Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
what were you going to say?
I was gonna say, like, okay, so you were naming all the people that you were saying, like, what Steph Curry averages like 30 points a game. Were
30
you saying
points.
that earlier?
Yeah, 30 points a game.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like doing a little bit of research, and I thought that Durant was putting up the most points per game. I thought he was.
Well, he was for a bit. Like, he was averaging, like,
29.
27.
but, like, even earlier, he was averaging, like, 33.
That's true.
I don't even know what is he averaging now.
29. He's averaging 29, almost 30 points a game right now. To be honest, he's my favorite player in the NBA right now.
Oh, my God.
But he's
you didn't
also-
just
He is.
say that.
He's also
He
been
is.
playing upwards
Why?
of 40 minutes.
Why is he your
Who can
favorite
s-
player?
How can you stop him?
Tear his Achilles.
Besides that,
Okay, you can't stop him.
put a hand in his face. What's gonna happen?
He's 8
Gonna
feet
take that
tall. What
ball
do you-
behind his head.
He's 8 feet tall. His wingspan is 24 feet
And
long.
plays
Like, you can't do anything.
and can play at shooting guard.
Yeah, I mean,
That is
well, he's a snake.
skill.
He's a cupcake.
I don't care.
Cupcake.
It's skill talks. That guy right there is phenomenal.
I feel so old because, like, the older I get, I'm like, like when I was younger, I'm like, this guy's so good. Like, he's my favorite player. And then, like, the older I got, I'm like, yeah, but what kind of guy is he? If he's a dick, I'm just like, well, like Dwight Howard, when that story came out about, I used to love Dwight. I kind of do love Dwight Howard still.
Oh yeah.
But, like, I was like, Dwight Howard's my favorite, like, center in the league. And then they were like, his kid was like, you don't talk to me ever. Like, I text you and you leave me on red for months at a time. And I was like, this guy's a fucking asshole.
Dwight's got rings to win, man.
He's got rings to win. He's got rings
He
to
doesn't
win.
have time for that shit.
Dude, he has 5 kids or something with 4 different girls. I mean, the guy gets around.
So that rumor about him being gay is completely false.
No, I don't know. I never heard anybody like deny it.
Yeah,
Me
but, like,
neither, really. Yeah. No.
Like you haven't really heard, like nobody really denied it,
No.
and then you didn't really like. I haven't even heard anything about it since. I mean, like
it's like
people
you see
crack
it once and
jokes.
then
I don't know.
Whatever.
Zach LaVine. What's going on with Zach LaVine? He's a reserve.
he's showing out.
He's showing up. I saw a thing where it was like, these players used to play together, and it was like Zach LaVine, or no, it was. Could you imagine Andrew Wiggins is the worst player in this photo? And it was Zach LaVine, Andrew Wiggins, Cat, and I fucking forget. It was like another young player who used to play for the Timberwolves. He got traded, but anyways, they were like, he is the like Andrew Wiggins, first overall pick, and you're like, yeah, he's a role player, but Zach LaVine, Ben Simmons is on it.
No.
You don't like it?
No.
Speak to me. Speak to me, Keigs.
His game, and I don't really like it. Like
I don't think he dunks much anymore.
he's
Seriously?
noticeable out there, but at times he could be putting up the points. If he shoots consistently, I can't shoot for shit. I get it.
For anybody who listened to the last episode, Kurt. Oh, by the way, Kurt's not here. Don't know if you didn't notice that. We're half an hour into this, and Kurt hasn't talked. It's because he's not here. So, yeah,
AFK.
whatever. So, anyways, he's AFK. He said something to me last week that just got me on a rant, and I want to say it to you guys. Blake Griffin, not that long ago, dunked for the first time in over a year.
Yeah,
Is that the saddest thing
It's
you
sad to see.
like?
like, what happened to him? Like, why'd he stop?
Just like, I don't know, got injured,
But
got lazy or injured.
I don't
know.
want to say I like that Detroit sitting him until they decide his future, but I like to see him get out of Detroit.
Yeah, like there was rumors like him getting
To
like
Lakers.
if he was bought out
Yeah.
or if he was traded, it'd be like Miami. But yeah, again, Blake Griffin, not a fan anymore. So Ben Simmons, you don't like it. You don't like the way he plays. Doesn't dunk enough.
Well, like,
Man,
at one
It's the
point,
dunk
he would.
master over here.
The dunk master.
I just like watching
Dunk champ.
good dunks. Like,
I just watching
Like,
good
I
dunks.
do.
You should watch the
Like,
dunk contest, buddy.
I will be tuning into that.
That's good.
But like, my favorite dunk, and he still does it, even though he's 35, is LeBron.
What, just cock it back?
Like, it's subtle, the tomahawk. Like, it's just
It's not subtle at all. He tries to tear the
Sling
rim
that
down
shot.
every
I
time he
know.
goes.
it's puts it down with authority.
Do you remember when he was playing for the Heat and they were playing Charlotte, and he went down, he threw it down as hard as he could, and he
Right on
stared Jordan down as hard as he was just looking right at him. You don't remember this?
I remember the one where he dunked over that guy that Dwayne Wade hooped it to. I think it was the Celtics, but Dwayne Wade
Jason
hooped it to him.
Terry.
Yeah,
That
and he
was
stood over top of him.
Yeah, and then they were like,
That was
tee him
brutal.
up.
Yeah.
Tee him
that's-
up.
That's a bad one.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or the one in Milwaukee when D-Wade just lobbed it up. It's like that famous photo.
yeah.
This one came out of nowhere for me. Nikolai Vucevic.
Yeah.
Or Nikolai, whatever you say his
Yeah.
name.
You don't
wasn't
hear a
he
lot
on
about
last
him.
year?
Seems to make the All-Star game a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I mean, he is having a good year. He's averaging like 24, 11. But like, I don't know, it just like came out of no. I would have never thought Vucevic being on the All-Star team.
I think it's just one of those small market teams where us here doesn't hear about him as much.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, well, I'll say, okay, Vucevic made it. Trae didn't. Trae Young didn't make it. He's averaging like 28 points a game. Fred didn't make it. But Vucevic made it. Are they even in the playoffs? Like, are they even like in the... I don't even know what their standing is. Orlando sucks. Yeah, I don't think he should have been there. I think there's other guys you could have put in there that would make the game more exciting and that
Yeah.
are playing better.
Who wouldn't want to see
Trae.
Trae Young?
Yeah, especially Trae. Like Trae versus Steph.
That'd be nice.
just pulling up from half all game. Are they doing that like race to like 150 again? Remember how they did that last year?
I think they're doing it the same way.
That was the best way to do the game. I would have
It's
never
so
thought of doing it. The last
It was good.
5 points
It
of the
was
game,
good.
like everyone's playing defense and like
Everyone was playing hard.
I think Giannis, I don't know if he had like a goaltending call. Was it goaltending?
Yeah, it was.
But like it was so close to being a block, like it was just
Yeah, and they had
it was too much. I was overstimulated watching it. It was a roller coaster of emotions. And then Tatum made up.
That's good. I can't disagree with that.
No. And then Jaylen Brown.
Good.
2 Celtics.
Good.
Do you think? All right, if you had to take one player, Tatum or Brown?
Tatum.
Okay. I would too. I just want to throw that out there.
Although Brown's pretty close. Like he's like
I mean, he was a 3rd overall pick.
I just think if Tatum
Yeah.
wasn't so popular, you'd notice Jaylen Brown a lot more.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Ooh,
who has?
I
Yeah.
have a fun fact.
All right, fun
So you
fact.
know Tatum was trained by Kobe,
Yes.
right? And did you also know that Jaylen Brown was trained by Tracy McGrady?
Interesting. Interesting.
Let's put that in your
Wow.
mind there. Just swirl around.
Just bring the new age rivalry. Well, I like that.
together.
I like that.
You can like if you really like. I guess if you sat down and you watched a couple clips of T-Mac, and then you watch Jaylen Brown play, you can see it. You can. You see a bit
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Especially
Jaylen
with
Brown
his
has his own game style.
Jumpers is like
Yeah,
fades. Yeah.
you definitely see it. 100%.
Yeah.
The way he
All right,
shoots.
for one game in their prime, would you rather have Kobe or T-Mac? One game.
Well,
Because they both are crazy. Like, Kobe had 81 points, and then T-Mac had 13 points in, 30 seconds? Like, who would you
Clutch
take?
a win.
Who would you take?
You have to take.
It
Kobe.
depends. Am I gonna take that T-Mac from that game?
No, you're going to take the Orlando one,
Okay.
where he led the league in points one year.
Yeah. What was it like? 35.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
It was
I
a
just
lot.
said that.
It was a lot. Kobe.
Think Kobe?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I would take Kobe.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the defense is the big thing. Kobe's just locked down on defense. I mean, he was the best player, but he also might have been the best defender in the league,
T-Mac
too.
was good too.
Yeah.
Like Kobe even said, like the only person that could actually guard me and it would actually be tough was Tracy McGrady. He said that he was just
Yeah.
a bigger version of me.
Yeah, he's just taller and
Yep.
more physical. And
Mhm.
okay, so who do you think is the better team, the West or the East? Let you peek at my notes.
That's hard. That's hard because like Curry and LeBron are on the same team.
I
Yeah.
would probably take the West.
You taking the
I
West?
saw a stat the other day. It said the West has beaten the East in the season series 11 straight years. Like overall, West teams playing East.
Yeah.
It's just
It's so crazy that the West has been better than the East for
so long.
10 years, 15 years. I think
And
it's
the West
crazy.
is just getting better because everybody wants to go there because that's where the big teams are.
You're gonna hate me when I say this, but
All
like
right. Let me hate you.
if KD is feeling it,
Yeah?
could be a problem. Could be a problem.
Nah.
You don't think so?
Nah, they put Kawhi on.
Again, it doesn't matter.
It so does matter. It so does matter. I don't even know what you mean.
You don't know what I mean.
He's 11 feet tall. I get that.
I mean, you could look at
He's an
Kawhi
85
and
wing.
KD,
7 foot.
But-
wingspan.
85 foot.
when it comes to Kawhi and KD
Foot.
off the court,
Inch.
whose bench is better because it's not Brooklyn's.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just think, like
The Lakers.
he's so skinny. He's such a
that's
tarantula.
that's what makes him fast.
He's
And-
not fast.
Yes, he's fast.
He's not
He
fast.
has long.
That's a
legs.
He's
exaggeration.
pretty fast.
How can you not
He's
be fast?
average
Your legs
fast.
are
And
that
he can
long.
stop on a dime.
He is
Pull up.
average of fast.
Stop, pull up. It's in before you even look at the basket.
Well, he's not going to be doing that.
I would.
much
I
now.
would. Okay. In a matchup of just Katie's on offense, Kawhi's on defense. I mean, I'm taking Kawhi.
Fair.
He's just stronger.
You're right,
You
but
can't post him up.
That's the thing. You can shoot though.
I mean, like,
It's hard. To
like the
argue.
thing is like the East is actually better at defense. Not that there's any defense played in an All-Star game, but like if it gets down to those last 5 points,
Like it was last year.
like I mean, you have KD, Giannis, and Embiid. Like,
yeah,
good
they're
luck.
huge.
Like, good luck. Good luck. Like Curry, you're getting the ball a lot. Just stay up by the perimeter. Don't come in. Don't come inside.
Yo,
Let the big boys play and just let him shoot. Man, this is so tough. I would say the West is the better team.
yeah.
Like
yeah,
I don't
I'm looking
know.
at reserves too.
That's what I'm looking at. Like I don't know if their starters are better, although it's close.
Yeah.
But their bench is way better. Like Lillard, Chris Paul,
PG's really good at
PG,
defense.
Zion, Anthony Davis isn't going to play, but Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Like,
And
like-
the East has got Vucevic. You know?
I mean,
Like,
quite honestly, would you rather have whoever, Paul George or Zach LaVine?
Paul George.
Or like you can go down the list, like Vucevic or Gobert.
I'd
the-
have
question.
Gobert.
Yeah.
I would have Gobert.
I would have
Yeah.
Gobert too.
Yeah.
Like,
Is he blocked like 2 consecutive against what team was that? It was not. It was like 2. It was like 2 days ago, and he blocked. Like he was just shutting down that team.
I
Couldn't
have
score.
no idea.
couldn't
No
tell you
idea.
what.
Duffy,
Utah
Duffy,
just went on a rest
if you're gonna
road
bring
trip.
stuff up on a podcast, know what you're talking about.
Okay, well I thought I was kind of like
I'm joking.
I was feeding you.
I'm
was
joking.
feeding
I have
you.
no idea where. No idea. Okay, so let's get into your picks for like who do you think is the MVP front runner?
right now, or
Right now.
who do you think it's gonna be?
Based on how they've played, who do you think at the end of the season will probably be MVP?
LeBron.
You think LeBron?
I mean, I just think since LeBron didn't get it last year, now
He's trying.
Giannis is a little more out of his way,
Yeah.
so this is his chance to bring it home.
I
But I
he's
think
got
Embiid is close.
Like I
Oh,
think
yeah, he's
LeBron
really
is
close.
due for one.
it. Yep.
I mean,
He
LeBron
very
should
well
have-
could have won last year.
LeBron should have 7 MVPs. Like, I mean, I think people get tired of seeing LeBron James. Like, I think writers, rightly or wrongly, I think they see LeBron James's name and they're like, "Fuck this guy again."
Yeah, true.
Still, like,
True.
guy, like you're in your
Like we're tired.
like you're in your 32nd year. Like, just give up on it. You know what I mean?
Still going.
He's still going. I'll say this. I think if Golden State makes the playoffs, Steph Curry's the MVP. Which they are in the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
I could see it, but he'd have to have a wicked second half of the season. Not that
Oh,
he
yeah.
hasn't had a good start.
He'd have
Yeah.
to keep it up.
But-
It's basically.
I just think I think writers would look at like what the guy's working with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the second best player is like Draymond Green. Guy scores like 8 points a game.
Well, like when Golden State was going on their runs, look at how much
And they're missing Clay.
revenue that
Yep.
generated for the league. Golden State fans, like, they're gonna the story on Curry again.
I can't wait for.
Do you think
Like,
this is like a debate that's been happening for 10 years? Do you think super teams are good for the NBA? Or do you think that having more competitive balance is better?
I like to see them spread out, but
Good matchups if they're spread out.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, it like, watching the season, like, okay, like, you're an OKC fan.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, for watching the season right now for you
Ouch.
is no, but I'm saying this for every team. Orlando.
yeah, but
Yeah.
Like, unless you are the Clippers, the Lakers, the Nuggets,
The Nets now.
the Nets, the Celtics, the 76ers, there's no point in watching the game.
and I'm not watching the Thunder because I'm expecting them to win and wanting to watch them to win every night.
Yeah.
This season's not about winning. Like they're not going to win. I want to see them play.
Yeah.
Like, it means more to see them play. Sure, a win is great, but clearly you know they're not going to be a playoff team, and they're
Right.
not going to, so they might as well lose as many times as they can, you know, the tank.
Yeah.
So it's not as heartbreaking to see them lose, even though it's nice to see them win.
Yeah. I think that there's value in having super teams, but I don't think there's value in having 8 super teams. There might be value in having one.
Yeah.
Like one, like you can look to the Warriors or the Heat or the Bulls, and you're like, okay, that's the team we're running with. But like when you really only have 5 or 6 teams that can win, it doesn't make to me it doesn't make sense. Anyways, moving on. Defensive Player of the Year. Gobert. Is there any argument there?
I mean, not really.
Guy's averaging like over 2 blocks a game,
That is true. But I
13 rebounds.
I like Dort. On OKC, I do, man. He hustles, man. He's good.
Okay.
He'll get it. I'm telling you.
He is really good at defense. Like he locked down LeBron. Like,
All you got to do,
Mm-hmm.
watch
Yeah.
the series against Houston. James Harden's numbers when Dort was on him, stupid. Like, nothing.
like yeah, he got broken the other night, and it looked pretty bad. But like, that's what happens when you play hard defense. You
Yeah.
get broken.
You get broken a few times.
Yeah,
That's
like,
fine.
It's
Pick-
just how it is.
Pick yourself up.
Canadian boy,
Like even
too.
Michael Jordan got crossed up pretty good.
Yeah.
Allen Iverson.
That's true. 6th man. What do you think? I'll give you some names.
Ooh.
Jordan Clarkson, Montrezl Harrell, Eric Gordon, Chris Boucher. Give you a little few names there.
I mean, clearly,
Boucher's been doing really well.
Yeah.
Utah, Jordan Clarkson, there's a lot of attention to his name. But I wouldn't pick Harrell because I didn't agree with Harrell winning it last year
Okay.
over Schroeder.
I
Or
think so.
Schroeder.
I think so. I think Harold
But
did really well last year.
I do too. I mean, if you look at his like per 36 minutes,
it came down to a slight numbers advantage.
yeah,
Like they had back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Right.
But Montrez was just slightly better.
yeah, yeah. I think last year, like when you looked at his per 36, you were like,
And I
this
mean, they
guy's
played
averaging
completely
20.
different games and positions. Even,
Yeah.
Too.
I would say Clarkson, Jordan Clarkson. He's kind of
Yeah.
killing it. I mean, there was rumors he might have got picked for the All-Star game.
Really?
Yeah. Like I mean,
I think that was kind of a sleeper trade for Utah.
yeah,
Like last year, it was just Cleveland to their right, Cleveland,
Yeah.
yeah. And it wasn't much at the time, you know.
not a big
But
fan of all the tattoos.
Considering
Lot-
he didn't have any.
A
Yeah.
lot of tattoos on that guy now. I love when he said in the interview after the game with the Lakers, he was like, "Yeah, Kobe told me to stop going to the hole like a light-skinned dude." He was like, "You're going to the hole like a light-skinned dude," and then he just like started throwing it down like the games after. He was like dunking everywhere. Rookie of the year, LaMelo.
I like it.
Yeah.
And by the way,
Yeah.
if you are, I don't know, under the age of 10, okay, and you say the name, or you say the word mellow, and you're referring to LaMelo Ball, you can go fuck yourself.
That's
That's
true.
just-
I agree with
That
that.
deserves
Carmelo
a cuff
Anthony.
right
It
upside
is
the head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's Carmelo Anthony.
Yep.
That's Mello, not LaMelo. Like no.
No.
It's okay.
I
Don't
agree.
use Mello. Just don't use Mello. It's disrespectful to the game. I think he's the rookie.
I also
Yeah.
like Tyrese Halliburton.
Yep, he's having a big year.
Anthony Edwards.
That
Yep.
dunk.
Anthony Edwards.
Oh,
I mean,
I don't know so much this year, but I think Anthony Edwards and Wiseman overall are probably going to be better than LaMelo.
who did he absolutely just jump over?
He was on the Raptors.
Watanabe. Don't know who the hell it is. Don't know why I know the name. Just
Yeah.
remember because
It was bad.
That
That was
It was
bad.
against the Raptors, though?
That was bad. That was really bad.
That was disrespectful.
And I was bugging a Raptors fan about it,
Yeah.
and I let him have it.
You let him have it?
Oh yeah.
You were like, look at what happened. Just
Look at what happened, and you need to sit there and shut up while I explain it to you.
While I explain what just happened to you.
Yeah.
Because that was
A
embarrassing.
rookie just embarrassed your whole entire team.
Yeah, that was
organization rather.
Yeah. Just
let's be honest.
That was a disgrace to
With-
the organization.
with
The city
one
of
play.
Toronto.
And you know what I didn't like? That was one of the craziest dunks you've seen. Probably
in
dunk
a
of the
while.
year.
That
The
would be dunk of the year.
commentators for the Raptors, not excited.
Not excited.
They saw that and they're like,
because they knew.
Oh, Edwards throws it down.
because
no.
they were like this. They were like, and there's the dunk, and oh, and the funeral will be tomorrow. If you would like to attend, call this number. Like, that's exactly what they did. Like, they were like, this man's dead on the court. Come collect his body, put it in the casket.
yeah.
I think we covered a lot. We covered a lot in a short little time.
Yeah, we did actually.
This was fun.
That's fun.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah. I'd do it again.
Yeah, we'll have you guys back on.
For sure.
Keigs, Duffy, I want to thank you for coming on to the show.
Thanks for having us.
You're our
Yeah.
first guests ever.
I like that.
We're gonna get you a plaque or a trophy of some sort,
Great.
so that when we're on the Hollywood Walk
Am I
of
gonna get
Fame,
like royalty checks?
probably not.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Probably not.
Fair.
Yeah. So keep your day jobs, boys. Don't be waiting for those anytime soon. All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Cheers.
So it was really good to talk to both those guys. They were fantastic. Had a lot of fun. We had some laughs, some stuff we had to clip out, that's for sure. But we had a good time. I want to thank both of them for coming on the show. It was fantastic. We'll have them on again. Right now, we're going to get into our picks. We're going to wrap up the show. Kurt, what do you got this weekend?
All right, Saturday night, I'm going with the LA Kings over the Minnesota Wild. The Wild are at home, but I'm taking the Kings on the road. And
I
then
like that.
we got Habs at Jets. I'm rolling with the Jets. We talked about the Habs. Not as good as all those Habs fans out there. Your team's just not that good. I'm going with the Jets. And I'll finish it off on Sunday night. I'll take Grizzlies over the Rockets.
I like those picks, man. I really do. This weekend, I got the Panthers over the Hurricanes. That's on Saturday. I also have the Jets over the Canadiens. I'm going to take the Knicks over the Pacers. I'm going to take the Nets, the crosstown rival. I'm going to take the Nets over the Mavericks. So go make those picks. Make yourself a little money. If you haven't already, hit subscribe, hit like, rate the show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We really appreciate it, and more people can that way find the show. Kurt, this was fun, as always.
Fun as always. Yep.
All right. We'll leave you there. It was a good episode. We'll be back next week. Bye, everyone.